Welcome to another edition of UFO Love, Hari Ram Singh, coast to coast, and around this beautiful flat earth. Thank you. A very special show today. We wanted to do this on the radio program to share some beautiful teachings from the master known as Sri Yukteswar, the master who initiated Yogananda to the lineage of Babaji. And I'm going to read over a series of programs from chapter 43 in Yogananda's autobiography. Let's give it up for Yogananda. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend you do. This book was one of those magical moments in my life. It was calling me for some time, and then one day, literally, fell off a shelf. Have you ever had that experience? Saying, read this, and I couldn't put it down once I started reading it. It was just breathtaking, full of magic, inspiration. One of the greatest stories I've ever read about the master-disciple relationship. It's a love story, sublime love story. If anyone is listening right now, please send me a message here on the chat. I'll type in a message to say hello. Satnam, Waheguru. Say hello, show yourself. As usual, before we get to the program, we're going to tune in with the Adi Mantra, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. So get comfortable, seated in a comfortable position with your spine straight, shoulders relaxed, chest open, rub your hands together. Breathing deeply, and bring your hands together in prayer position at the heart chakra. See the deep inhale and exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Han Gure Name, Jugan Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudeve Name. Han Gure Name, Jugan Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudeve Name. Han Gure Name, Jugan Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudeve Name. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Smul band, root lock. And slowly exhale. You can bow forward as you exhale. Inhale back up. For those of you who are new to Kundalini Yoga and meditation, I encourage you to check out my video podcasts on Facebook. Let's give it up for Facebook. Facebook pages. Hari Ram Kirtan. As well as Falcon Wolf on the Road. You find lots of beautiful photographs, videos, and poetry on that page as well. We have a message. We've got several messages. Ione and Uttamjitkar. Thank you. Give it up for you. Good morning. It's morning in Florida. Lucky people at the Coliseum are listening to me, says Uttamjitkar. Yes, here in beautiful Rome. It's a beautiful day. I was riding my bike. I'm going to post a video a bit later. I made riding my bicycle along the river here in Rome, chanting along the way, as I like to do when I'm cycling. This is a mantra that I was chanting. Well, we already did it, the Mangalacharan mantra. Let's chant with guitar. This is my tribute to Singkar. Give it up for Singkar. Adgure Namen Jagadgure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Namen Adgure Namen Gagure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Namen Adgure Namen Jugadgure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Namen Adgure Namen Jugadgure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Namen Adgure Namen Jugadgure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Adgure Namen Jugadgure Namen Sadgure Namen Siri Guru Deve Namen Siri Guru Deve Adgure Namen Gure Name Satguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Adgure Name Jugalgure Name Satguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Adgure Name Jugalgure Name Satguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Adgure Name Jugalgure Name Satguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Sri Guru Deva Name. Waheguru. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Yeah, you guys aren't supposed to have chats on here, okay? Tomjit and Ione are having a little chat. Okay, pay attention now. This chapter often comes into my consciousness from Yogananda's autobiography because it is the chapter about his reuniting with Sri Yukteswar after Sri Yukteswar's death. And he comes back from the other side to explain to Yogananda what it's like. Are you guys interested to hear what Sri Yukteswar has to say about the other side? Woo! Recording live. The other side. Okay. In all seriousness now. Chapter 43, The Resurrection of Sri Yukteswar. Lord Krishna, the glorious form of the Avatar, appeared in a shimmering blaze as I sat in my room at the Regent Hotel in Bombay. Shining over the roof of a high building across the street, the ineffable vision had suddenly burst on my sight as I gazed out of my tall, open third-story window. The divine figure waved to me, smiling and nodding in greeting. When I could not understand the exact message of Lord Krishna, he departed with a gesture of blessing. Wondrously uplifted, I felt that some spiritual event was presaged. My Western voyage had, for the time being, been cancelled. I was scheduled for several public addresses in Bombay before leaving on a return visit to Bengal. Sitting on my bed in the Bombay Hotel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, June 19th, 1936, 1 week after the vision of Krishna, I was roused from my meditation by a beatific light. Before my opened and astonished eyes, the whole room was transformed into a strange world. The sunlight transmuted into supernal splendor. Waves of rapture engulfed me as I beheld the flesh and blood form of Sri Yukteswar. "My son," Master spoke tenderly, on his face an angel bewitching smile. For the first time in my life I did not kneel at his feet in greeting, but instantly advanced to gather him hungrily in my arms. Moment of moments. The anguish of past months was toll I counted weightless against the torrential bliss now descending. Master mine, beloved of my heart, why did you leave me? I was incoherent in an excess of joy. Why did you let me go to the Kumbh Mela? How bitterly have I blamed myself for leaving you. I did not want to interfere with your happy anticipation of seeing the pilgrimage spot where first I met Babaji. I left you only for a little while. Am I not with you again? But it is you, Master. The same Lion of God. Are you wearing a body like the one I buried beneath the cruel Puri sands? Yes, my child, I am the same. This is a flesh and blood body. Though I see it as ethereal, to your sight it is physical. From cosmic atoms I created an entirely new body, exactly like that cosmic dream physical body which you laid beneath the dream sands at Puri in your dream world. I am in truth resurrected, not on earth, but on an astral planet. Its inhabitants are better able than earthly humanity to meet my lofty standards. There you and your exalted loved ones shall someday come to be with me. Deathless Guru, Yogananda says, tell me more. Master gave a quick, mirthful chuckle. Please, dear one, he said, won't you relax your hold a little? Only a little. I had been embracing him with an octopus grip. I could detect the same faint, fragrant, natural odor that had been characteristic of his body before. The thrilling touch of his divine flesh still persists around the inner sides of my arms and in my palms whenever I recall those glorious hours. YUKTESWAR goes on. As prophets are sent on earth to help men work out their physical karma, so I have been directed by God to serve on an astral planet as a savior. It is called Hiranyaloka, or illumined astral planet. Hiranyaloka. There I am aiding advanced beings to rid themselves of astral karma and thus attain liberation from astral rebirths. The dwellers on Hiranyaloka are highly developed spiritually. All of them had acquired in their last earth incarnation the meditative given power of consciously leaving their physical bodies at death. No one can enter Hiranyaloka unless he has passed on earth beyond the state of Sabhikalpa Samadhi into the higher state of Nirbhikalpa Samadhi. Hiranyaloka inhabitants have already passed through the ordinary astral spheres, where nearly all beings from earth must go at death. There, they destroyed many seeds of karma connected with their past actions in astral worlds. None but advanced devotees can perform such redemptive work effectively in the astral spheres. Then, in order to free their souls fully from all traces of astral karma, these aspirants were drawn by cosmic law to be reborn in new astral bodies on Hiranyaloka, the astral sun or heaven, where I am present to help them. There are also nearly perfect beings on Hiranyaloka who have come from the superior causal world. Pause here for a moment to close the window. And a little frog medicine here. Ribbit. I wonder if there's frogs on here in Yarlook. Some people saying it's a mouthful. Okay, before we resume, seriousness. Yes, I'm dead serious, Ione. Yes, you know what they say about people from Sirius? Yes, we are the least serious people in the entire cosmos, okay? Give it a serious. Okay, so returning to Sri Yukteswar. My mind was now in such perfect attunement with my gurus that he was conveying his word pictures to me partly by speech and partly by thought transference. I was thus quickly receiving his idea tabloids. You have read in the scriptures, Master went on, that God encased the human soul successively in 3 bodies: the idea, or causal, body, the subtle astral body, seat of man's mental and emotional natures, and the gross physical body. On earth, a man is equipped with his physical senses. An astral being works with his consciousness and feelings in a body made of life-trons. A causal-bodied being remains in the blissful realm of ideas. My work is with those astral beings who are preparing to enter the causal world. Adorable Master, please tell me more about the astral cosmos. Though I had slightly relaxed my embrace at Sri Yukteswar's request, my arms were still around him. Treasure beyond all treasures, my guru, who had laughed at death to reach me. There are many astral planets teeming with astral beings, Master began. The inhabitants use astral planes, or masses of light, to travel from one planet to another, faster than electricity and radioactive energies. The astral universe, made of various subtle vibrations of light and color, is hundreds of times larger than the material cosmos. The entire physical creation hangs like a little solid basket under the huge luminous balloon of the astral sphere. Just as many physical suns and stars roam in space, so there are also countless astral, solar, and stellar systems. Their planets have astral suns and moons more beautiful than the physical ones. The astral luminaries resemble the aurora borealis, the sunny astral aurora being more dazzling than the mild-rayed moon aurora. The astral day and night are longer than those of Earth. The astral world is infinitely beautiful, clean, pure, and orderly. There are no dead planets or barren lands. The terrestrial blemishes, weeds, bacteria, insects, snakes are absent. Unlike the variable climates and seasons of the earth, the astral planets maintain the even temperature of an eternal spring, with occasional luminous white snow and rain of many-colored lights. Astral planets abound in opal lakes and bright seas and rainbow rivers. The ordinary astral universe, not the subtler astral heaven of Hiranyaloka, is peopled with millions of astral beings who have come more or less recently from the earth, and also with myriads of fairies, mermaids, fishes, animals, goblins, gnomes, demigods, and spirits, all residing on different astral planets in accordance with karmic qualifications. Various spheric mansions or vibratory regions are provided for good and evil spirits. Good ones can travel freely, but the evil spirits are confined to limited zones. In the same way that human beings live on the surface of the earth, worms inside the soil, fish in water, and birds in the air, so astral beings of different grades are assigned to suitable vibratory quarters. Among the fallen dark angels, expelled from other worlds, friction and war take place with life-tronic bombs or mental mantric, vibratory rays. These beings dwell in the gloom-drenched regions of the lower astral cosmos, working out their evil karma. In the vast realms above the dark astral prison, all is shining and beautiful. The astral cosmos is more naturally attuned than the earth to the divine will and plan of perfection. Every astral object is manifested primarily by the will of God, and partially by the will call of astral beings. They possess the power of modifying or enhancing the grace and form of anything already created by the Lord. He has given his astral children the freedom and privilege of changing or improving at will the astral cosmos. I was going to say here that it reminds me of an incredible film that I've seen many times and recommended to many friends and students. It's called What Dreams May Come, starring Robin Williams. Give it up. Brilliant Robin Williams. If you haven't seen this film, do it. And see it on a good screen. So the visuals are incredible. What Dreams May Come. Which is, of course, taken from the most famous soliloquy in all of English theatre, To Be or Not to Be, Hamlet's contemplation on mortality and suicide. Oh, welcome Valentina, Satnam. Let's give it up for Valentina. Thank you for joining us. So Sri Yukteswar goes on, on earth, a solid must be transformed into liquid or other form through natural or chemical processes. But astral solids are changed into astral liquids, gases, or energy solely and instantly by the will of the inhabitants. The earth is dark with warfare and murder in the sea, land, and air, my Guru continued, but the astral realms know a happy harmony and equality. Astral beings dematerialize or materialize their forms at will. Flowers or fish or animals can metamorphose themselves for a time into astral men. Wow. All astral beings are free to assume any form and can easily commune together. This makes me think of the shamanic practice. More advanced shamans have the ability to shapeshift. So I'll be giving some more commentary, and please, feel free to add yours in the chat section here on Spreaker application. So you can see how shamanic practice and the yogic practice gives us insights into what Sri Yukteswar is describing here, the astral plane. So he says, no fixed, definite natural law hems them around. Any astral tree, for example, can be successfully asked to produce an astral mango or other desired fruit, yum, flower, or indeed any other object. Certain karmic restrictions are present, but there are no distinctions in the astral world about desirability of various forms. Everything is vibrant with God's creative light. No one is born of woman. Offspring are materialized by astral beings through the help of their cosmic will into specially patterned, astrally condensed forms. The recently physically disembodied being arrives in an astral family through invitation, drawn by similar mental and spiritual tendencies. And this is worth commenting on as well, I feel, because I've been talking about this for a long time. My students and my writing discourses about the spiritual family as opposed to the blood family. They're not always one and the same. You know what I'm saying? The astral body, Sri Yukteswar goes on to say, is not subject to cold or heat. Hallelujah for that. Or other natural conditions. The anatomy includes an astral brain, or the thousand-petaled... Say that 10 times really fast. Thousand-petaled lotus of light. Thousand-petaled... and 6 awakened centers in the Sushumna, or astral cerebrospinal axis. The heart draws cosmic energy as well as light from the astral brain and pumps it to the astral nerves and body cells or lifetrons. Of course, this makes me think all about Kundalini Yoga, the chakras, the nadis, meridians that I've studied in my shiatsu training as well. And pumps it to the astral nerves and body cells or lifetrons. Astral beings are able to effect changes in their forms by lifetronic force and by holy mantric vibrations. In most cases, the astral body is an exact counterpart of the last physical form. The face and figure of an astral person resemble those of his youth in the previous earthly sojourn. Occasionally, someone, like myself, chooses to retain his old age appearance. Master, emanating the very essence of youth, chuckled merrily. Unlike the spatial, three-dimensional physical world cognized only by the five senses, the astral spheres are visible to the all-inclusive sixth sense, intuition, Sri Yukteswar went on. By sheer intuitional feeling, all astral beings see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. They possess 3 eyes, 2 of which are partly closed. The third and chief astral eye, vertically placed on the forehead, is open. Astral beings have all the outer sensory organs, ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin, but they employ the intuitional sense to experience sensations through any part of the body. They can see through the ear or nose or skin. They're able to hear through the eyes or tongue and can taste through the ears or skin and so forth. Fascinating. Man's physical body is exposed to countless dangers and is easily hurt or maimed. The ethereal astral body may occasionally be cut or bruised, but is healed at once by mere willing. Guru Deva, are all astral persons beautiful? Yogananda asks. Beauty in the astral world is known to be a spiritual quality and not an outward conformation, Sri Yukteswar replied. Astral beings therefore attach little importance to facial features. They have the privilege, however, of costuming themselves at will with new, colorful, astrally materialized bodies. Makes me think of all these apps now that are available, to costume ourselves, change our features. It's very interesting, isn't it, how technology now is kind of mirroring, or giving us this parallel experience of what the yogis have been teaching us for millennia. So he says, they have the privilege of costuming themselves at will. Just as worldly men don new array for gala events, so astral beings find occasions to bedeck themselves in specially designed forms. Joyous astral festivities on the higher astral planets like Hiranyaloka take place when a being is liberated from the astral world through spiritual advancement and is therefore ready to enter the heaven of the causal world. On such occasions, the invisible Heavenly Father and the saints who are merged in Him materialize themselves into bodies of their own choice and join the astral celebration. Wow, what a party that would be, eh? In order to please His beloved devotee, the Lord takes any desired form. If the devotee worshipped through devotion, he sees God as the Divine Mother. To Jesus, the Father aspect of the Infinite One was appealing beyond other conceptions. The individuality with which the Creator has endowed each of His creatures makes every conceivable and inconceivable demand on the Lord's versatility. My Guru and I laughed happily together. And this is worth commenting on too, I feel. Many paths, there are myriad paths to God. And each one beautiful in their own way. It's crazy when I think about all these wars, conflict created in the name of God. What is that all about? Doesn't make any sense. Every path is beautiful. Welcome Sat Kirtankar. give it up for Sat Kirtankar, who appeared on one of the previous shows. Check it out. All the shows are archived here until I run out of space. I'll have to start deleting a few. This is, again, it's worth commenting on that, depending on our upbringing and our spiritual path, each one has their own vision of the divine, God, Goddess. And none is better, higher, or lower than the others. So I love that Sri Yukteswar commented on this. Friends of other lives easily recognize one another in the astral world. Sri Yukteswar went on, his beautiful flute-like voice. Rejoicing at the immortality of friendship, they realize the indestructibility of love, often doubted at the time of the sad, delusive partings of earthly life. The intuition of astral beings pierces through the veil and observes human activities on earth, but man cannot view the astral world unless his sixth sense is somewhat developed. Thousands of earth dwellers have momentarily glimpsed an astral being or an astral world. The advanced beings on Hiranyaloka remain mostly awake in ecstasy during the long astral day and night, helping to work out intricate problems of cosmic government and the redemption of prodigal sons, earthbound souls. When the Hiranyaloka beings sleep, they have occasional dreamlike astral visions. Their minds are usually engrossed in the conscious state of highest nirvikalpa bliss. Such a beautiful word. I want to say it again. Sanskrit. Such a beautiful language. All these divine words like nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa, bliss. So many words to describe the subtle aspects of bliss, of oneness, of knowingness, like samadhi, nirvana, shunyata. I'll have to play a song later and celebrate some of these words. What do you think? Inhabitants in all parts of the astral worlds are still subject to mental agonies. Oh, yes. The sensitive minds of the higher beings on planets like Hiranyaloka feel keen pain if any mistake is made in conduct or perception of truth. These advanced beings endeavor to attune their every act and thought with the perfection of spiritual law. Communication among the astral inhabitants is held entirely by astral telepathy. Let me say it again. Telepathy. And television. No, not the television you're thinking. Remember, this was the 1930s. Interesting. There's none of the confusion and misunderstanding of the written and spoken word which earth dwellers must endure. Just as persons on the cinema screen appear to move and act through a series of light pictures and do not actually breathe, so the astral beings walk and work as intelligently guided and coordinated images of light, without the necessity of drawing power from oxygen. Man depends upon solids, liquids, gases, and energy for sustenance. Astral beings sustain themselves principally by cosmic light. Yogananda says, Mastermind, do astral beings eat anything? Good question. He says, I was drinking in his marvelous elucidations with the receptivity of all my faculties, mind, heart, and soul. Superconscious perceptions of truth are permanently real and changeless, while fleeting sense experiences and impressions are never more than temporarily or relatively true, and soon lose in memory all their vividness. My Guru's words were so penetratingly imprinted on the parchment of my being that at any time, by transferring my mind to the superconscious state, I can clearly relive this divine experience? Sri Yukteswar responds, luminous ray-like vegetables abound in the astral soils. The astral beings consume vegetables and drink a nectar flowing from glorious fountains of light and from astral brooks and rivers. Just as invisible images of persons on the earth can be dug out of the ether and made visible by a television apparatus, later being dismissed again into space, so the God created unseen astral blueprints of vegetables and plants floating in the ether are precipitated on an astral planet by the will of its inhabitants. In the same way, from the wildest fancy of these beings, whole gardens of fragrant flowers are materialized, returning later to the etheric invisibility. Although dwellers on the heavenly planets like Hiranyaloka are almost freed from any necessity of eating, still higher is the unconditioned existence of almost completely liberated souls in the causal world, who eat nothing save the manna of bliss. The earth-liberated astral being meets a multitude of relatives, fathers, mothers, wives, husbands, and friends acquired during during different incarnations on earth, as they appear from time to time in various parts of the astral realms. He is therefore at a loss to understand whom to love, especially. He learns in this way to give a divine and equal love to all, as children and individualized expressions of God. Let's give it up for that. One love for all, one family, one love. One heart. Though the outward appearance of loved ones may have changed, more or less according to the development of new qualities in the latest life of any particular soul, the astral being employs his unerring intuition to recognize all those once dear to him in other planes of existence, and to welcome them to their new astral home. Because every atom in creation is inextinguishably dowered with individuality, an astral friend will be recognized no matter what costume he may don. Even as on earth, an actor's identity is discoverable by close observation, despite any disguise. And I think we'll stop there. Entice you to come back to the next reading, hopefully tomorrow, if the technology supports us. Stopping on page 359. I just want to make a note of this so I know where to begin again. Isn't this fascinating? People ask me what are my favorite topics. I usually say two. I have two. Death and dying. The Tibetans wrote volumes about this. Right? The Tibetan book of living and dying. Let's give it up for the Tibetans for all their diligent work helping us prepare for this great adventure that Sri Yukteswar is describing here. As we can see that the adventure is vast and has still more layers. The astral world is just another step towards the final realization that he describes as the causal world, the world of pure thought, idea, bliss. Thank you, Uttamjit Kar. I love being part of Harinam's Gopikas. Shakti Bhakti Vaheguru Satnam, sisters, beloved Hariram, bring us together. Bless you, Uttamjit Kar. Well, yes, I haven't spoken much yet about polyamory on this program. For good reasons. But let me say this. My definition, well, it's right there. Sri Yukteswar described it beautifully, didn't he? Polyamory. It means many loves. It means to see beyond the flesh, to see beyond the relationship, mother, father, wife, sister, brother, that we're all one. Ek onkar. Polyamory literally means many loves. It means to love everyone as a reflection of ourselves. Yeah, do you agree? Woo! Button up! I did it. So for me, a good way to describe polyamory then is by defining the opposite, the antithesis, which is codependence, attachment. Let's not confuse detachment with non-attachment. For me, polyamory is about non-attachment. So the antithesis can be described for me as codependency, which is not love. It is bondage. It is misery. Unfortunately, many people still on this planet, and one could argue, and I'll argue until I die, that we're here to master this very thing, to release attachment. Otherwise, we have to come back again and again and again until we wake up, learn the lesson. Not attachment, which is bliss, which is true love, freedom. And I like to say, start with the self. Because often, I speak a lot about the long dark night of the soul, which can also be described for me as the human condition. We find ourselves in a deep solitude. We can be living in a large city like Rome and feel completely alone, isolated. Don't have to go into a forest like I did for 9 years. People said, "Isn't it lonely there?" I said, yeah, sometimes, but mostly, I'm quite happy. I have many tree friends, standing ones. The birds sing to me every morning, evening. Some even sing through the night. The owls sometimes will hoot at me in the middle of the night. Give it up for the owls. I hear the coyotes. After we made a kill, yes, coyotes do kill and eat other animals, like the wolf. No, it's not a lonely place to be in the forest. And yet, human community is important for me. And so I've come out of the forest, at least for now. So I'm going to end because this chapter began with Yogananda's vision of Krishna. It was a premonition, or beckoning to wake up to this magical visit from his guru. I want to end with a chant to Krishna, which also includes my spiritual name, Hariram. Thank you. Thank you. This is also a tribute to, keep clapping for Krishna Das. You haven't had the opportunity to hear Krishna Das live in concert. Don't pass it up if you have the opportunity. And don't leave after the show, because he is an amazing hugger. I've got blessing of hugging Krishna Das 2 occasions. Wow. It's kind of like what Yogananda described here with Sri Yukteswar, that I can still feel that hug. Krishna Das, beautiful man. So this is also a tribute to him, because I've included the traditional song, Amazing Grace. We should do a call and response, okay? So you can do the response part, all right? I can't hear you, but I'll just imagine.